What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the welterweight division in the UFC. Obviously, we all saw Prates go out there and completely destroy JDM this weekend. First man to KO him and just made it look easy, really. So, a lot of people then have been calling for him to get the next title shot. Um, Obviously, the welterweight division right now, there are multiple contenders who all really deserve title shots. Most likely, the next title fight will be Islam versus Ian Gary in August. Um, so there's a lot of reports of this, and in my opinion, this is the most likely outcome as well. Ian Gary, super deserving of the title shot. I mean, last time going out there and beating Bilal, and then the fight before that, beating Carlos Prates over 5 rounds. His only loss in the UFC and in general is to Shavkat. On short notice, so he's definitely deserving of the next title shot. But then when you look at the rest of the division, I mean, you got Michael Morales right there as well. His last fight beating Sean Brady, who was ranked number 2 at the time. Super impressive performance. Went out there, dominated him, got the KO real quick. So again, he's super deserving of the title shot as well. And then you also got Prates. I mean, lots of people are calling for him to get the title shot as well. Insane performance over JDM, and that's his third KO in a row since his loss to Ian Gary. So, this is really the big problem with the welterweight division. There are too many guys that deserve a title shot, and, you can only get one title shot, really. And with Islam, his inactivity, not not the best. You can't get title shots when you're only fighting once a year. So a lot of people are saying that he's going to fight in August and then turn around and fight. He could turn around and fight in November MSG, which, this is a very quick turnaround for anyone, not just him. And I don't think that's ever going to happen, even if he takes no damage. We've seen fights where he's taken zero damage and still not turned around and fought quickly. So our best option is him. Obviously, he's going to be coming back in 2027, hopefully January or February. We've only seen him really make this type of turnaround once where he beat Charles in October and then turned around and fought Volk in February. Hopefully we can see something like this again, but that's not guaranteed. His last time he fought Volk in the second fight in October as well. He didn't fight again until June, and then from June he fought in November, or no, he fought in January actually. So, big layoffs. And, we could not see him come back until June again or August again after fighting in August. So, really never know. And leaves a big issue, What are we going to do with these rest of these guys? Who's going to get a title shot? I mean, Prates, they're saying he could fight Michael Morales for the number one contender, and Michael Morales also posted this. And when asked about it, I mean, Prates said, no, I deserve the next title shot, which, makes perfect sense. But then you got Morales right there, too, who, what are you going to do with him? I think his best fight, I don't think he should fight Prates. Prates definitely deserving of the next title shot. He could fight Usman. A lot of people, including Islam, want to fight Usman for the title, but, right now that doesn't make sense. He's only beaten Buckley since his losses to Leon Edwards. And, this really doesn't make sense. So Morales, he could go in there, beat the former champion, which these last few guys, Ian Gary, Prates, have done, beaten former champions. I mean, Prates going out there and KOing 2 back-to-back former champions is just insane. But then when you look at it, I mean, there was already the talks of Ilya and Islam fighting. And honestly, I think this is pretty likely. I mean, you look at Ilya, he's going to beat Justin Gaethje on the White House. And then they're saying that Armin's not deserving of the next title shot. They want him one more fight. So, what do you do? Armin versus Charles 2. If Charles somehow wins that, I mean, is Ilya going to want to go out there and KO him in the first round again? That doesn't really seem like the direction he's heading. And honestly, we could see Ilya going up to fight Islam in Islam's next fight. So, what do you do with Prates, Morales, any of these guys? I mean, you can do Morales versus Prates. I mean, unreal fight. That would be amazing to watch. But, really, both of these guys deserve title shots, especially Prates. And then when you look at the division, thank God this guy is not there anymore. I mean, really unfortunate that he has these injuries. Do we ever see him come back and fight again? Really never sure. His last videos he's been posting, it does not look very good. I mean, still in recovery and everything, but he was supposed to fight Bilal for the title. You see that December 7th, 2024. Obviously, Bilal got hurt. Ian Gary goes in. He becomes the first guy to beat Ian Gary over 5 rounds. Pretty good, pretty dominating performance as well. And he should have had the next title shot if he did not get hurt. So, where would this division be if Shavkat was still around too? I mean, there's just way too many title contenders, which usually is a good thing, especially if you have a division where the champion is fighting, 2, 3 times a year, and you can really get going through these guys. But right now, I mean, it just doesn't look like that'll ever happen. And then, if you have Ilya going up to beat or to fight Islam as well, there's all these guys. Bilal is going to be fighting Bomfim in the next few weeks as well. Bilal, he beats him. He could fight a guy, like JDM or, Sean Brady if he beats Buckley, anything like that. You have all these contenders right there waiting for the title shots. And Michael Morales, he has not fought since Islam fought as well. And, like, what are you going to do with him? So there's just this big problem in the welterweight division right now. Super good that we have all these new exciting guys where before it was, kind of a boring division. Obviously, you had Usman there, Leon Edwards, Masvidal, Gilbert Burns, sort of. But, this is the most exciting it has ever been. And that's honestly why it is a problem. I would love to see all of these guys get title shots. A lot of very interesting matchups. I mean, Michael Morales, massive welterweight, super tall. And we saw him, I mean, against a grappler like Sean Brady, go out there, not get taken down at all, defend everything, and just, throw those uppercuts, knock him out. Great performance. How would he do against Islam? Ian Gary, also a super exciting one against Islam. I do think Islam's going to beat that. Ian Gary doesn't really have that knockout threat that we saw him against some of the bums coming up. Has good grappling. Obviously, we've seen him improve that being in Brazil and everything. But again, I think Islam is probably going to win that one. Prates, obviously, we've seen him also get taken down by JDM. How's his takedown performance? But then you have those knees. That's always a huge threat as well. So, that's a super exciting matchup against Islam too. Morales, I think, is an amazing matchup. That, honestly, I want to see that more. So, obviously, these two guys I want to see over Ian Gary. But, he definitely deserving of the title shot. If Shavkat was healthy, how would that go against Islam? But then also, we all want to see Ilya versus Islam. Obviously, that's one of the biggest fights in UFC history. How does that play out? We wish that was at 155, but Islam, I mean, he's never going to come back down again. So we all want to see that fight. Him versus Usman for the legacy would be cool. It's just so many good fights right now that we can make. And we just, Islam obviously is just not fighting enough. And hopefully we can get him against Ian Gary in August. He can make that turnaround in January, fight, I would say Prates, but, Ilya right there. If he goes out, probably going to KO Justin Gaethje in the first 1 or 2 rounds. He's going to be calling out Islam for sure. He'll probably be there as well for Islam's fights versus Ian Gary, in my opinion. They're going to, face off sometime. They're going to, be at some of these events. Ilya's brother's probably going to be fighting, International Fight Week, maybe even on the 330 card of Islam versus Ian Gary. So, they're going to be around. We're going to get these interactions. And honestly, I could see him fighting Islam in January or February, hopefully. But then, do you do Prates versus Michael Morales? Prates probably going to be Ian Gary will probably be ranked number 1. Then Prates number 2, Michael Morales 3, Bilal 4 or 5, and then JDM 4 or 5 as well. Like, there's just so many good contenders, and I would love to see Morales versus Prates. I mean, that is just a insane bout. Fireworks at 100% can be a main event at a card, a fight night or anything, or, co-main at um, a numbered event. But again, both of these guys super deserving of a title shot. I mean, like, what else do you need them to do? Michael Morales, I could see one more fight. But again, in any other division, you could probably see him getting a title shot, going out there, super dominating performance, KOing the number 2 guy in the division. Like we saw Sean Strickland, he went out, Fluffy Hernandez, I think he was ranked 5, maybe 5 or 6. He goes out there, KOs him, and he jumps up to get the title shot. Obviously, he has that head-to-head win over Imavov, but still, you put out these dominating performances, you can go up to the top. Like Prates, 3 KOs in a row, 3 highlights in a row. Any other division, he's probably getting that title shot. But, that's just the problem we have right now with welterweight. There's just not enough title shots per year to make all of this happen. So there are guys that are going to be skipped and, might not ever get a title shot. If you do Prates versus Morales right now, the loser of that, who does he fight then? The loser of Islam versus Ian Gary. And then do they get a title shot after that? Probably. But, you just never know with the division. I mean, somebody else could get some highlights, move up, go over them. You never know. And then if you have guys sitting out too long waiting for title shots, they can get skipped as well. And when they realize, I need another fight, it could be too late by then. And then you could fight that fight. You could lose, you could win, and you still might not get a title shot. I mean, you really never know. It's really the problem we're having right now. It's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem. I mean, you have these guys, they should have the next title shot. Obviously, we all want to see Prates now, fight. We just want to see him fight again, obviously. Him versus Islam. Most likely, Islam probably going to take him down pretty easily, as we've seen, Ian Gary, or not Ian Gary. Yeah, Ian Gary too. Him, JDM, Leon Edwards, all these guys, pretty much grapple him and take him down with ease. But then, he was throwing those, nasty knees against JDM. That's a threat. If he catches him, bunch of different things. Michael Morales with his height, really good. So honestly, right now, the contender we want to see least get a title shot, not just because, everything else, but like the fighting style, everything like that, probably Ian Gary. I mean, I don't know. I think Islam pretty much wins that pretty easily. And these other guys, these are the guys, Morales, Prates with the, flashy KO, could they catch Islam? You never know. But then, Ilia Topuria, such a good fight. So, you have all of these guys right now, in my opinion. Ian Gary versus Islam, most likely in August, that should happen. Are they going to do Prates versus Morales? Morales has been out for quite some time. And Prates, he won't be able to fight for obviously a few more months as well, even though he does make those turnarounds. Do they fight in, December or November, something like that? That's a year for Michael Morales. He loses that, he's kind of screwed, but it looks like he would want that fight because I think he even knows that he's probably the least deserving for a title shot. Definitely deserving, but he, probably the least. I would like to see, if Ilya doesn't move up, I would like to see him fight Arman first. Hopefully they, let Arman actually fight for the title. It's kind of ridiculous. If he doesn't, obviously everything happens. That's a whole different discussion. But I think the best case would be Islam versus Ian Gary in August. Ilya beats Justin, and then he fights Arman the next time. So he's still at lightweight, doesn't move up yet. And then after that, you do Islam versus Prates with Michael Morales fighting Kamaru Usman. And then after the Islam Prates fight, this is all if Islam beats Ian Gary, which I believe he will. Then I believe he will beat Carlos Prates. Ilya moves up and then fights Islam. And that could be, honestly, Islam's last fight in the UFC. Could see him retiring after that, especially if he wins. But then you do Morales versus Usman. And, is Usman still going to be there, even if he wins, probably. But Morales, most likely, I think he would win that. And then after that, he could fight for the welterweight after that. But honestly, these are, 2 years away. So you never know what's going to happen. Maybe Shavkat comes back. I don't know. His injuries look pretty severe. But, he's another guy who should have already fought for the title, undefeated. So, there's just so many good contenders right now. But in my opinion, I would do that. And, we all want to see Ilya versus Islam. So hopefully Ilya can fight Arman next, after Justin Gaethje. Because that's really the only other, fight at lightweight that we all really want to see with Ilya. So that's, in my opinion, what I would do next. So hopefully we can get that announcement, Islam versus Ian Gary next. And then, we'll see what the UFC has planned. But right now, it's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong. But there are lots of good guys, lots of good contenders that are all have their shots for the belt and, have their reasons. So we'll see what happens next. Hopefully we can get these announcements next. And then hopefully we can get some quicker turnarounds. And then we can get these, real exciting fights and interesting matchups at welterweight. So, this is the big problem we have at welterweight. But, obviously, lots of good guys. It's a good problem to have. So we'll see what happens next. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys think about this division and who should be fighting for the belts next.